to another Just 5 Mins, and you thought that we could escape those 2 letters, AI, for another week. Nope, sorry. Anyway, what have we got this time? We've got Prompt Perfect. And I did do an episode just a few weeks ago, I think, where there's a lot of these AI sort of prompt-based application services cropping up. There's hundreds, thousands, millions of them already, of course. And did you know that there is even a prompt engineering institute? Goodness me. So anyway, there's so much. There's a lot of hype here, of course. There's no doubt about it. But this one, Prompt Perfect, is an interesting one if you're just playing around, or even if you're really trying to go a little bit further with prompting these sort of AI engines like, Bard, ChatGPT, goodness knows what. What was the other one I came across the other day? There's so many of them, isn't there? I'm just trying to think. I've got it on my phone. Claude. Yeah, that was another one. Yeah. Anyway, there's too many, isn't there? And they're all evolving, and I think there's a big scramble to find out what works, what doesn't. But interestingly as well, that as you can imagine, it doesn't take long, does it? There is actually, I've got it here actually. I'm looking at something that you can't see, but something called Prompt Base, where it's a marketplace for prompts for actually a lot of the main sort of things like MidJourney, ChatGPT, DALI, Stable Diffusion, all the rest of it. And it's you've got to admire, I'm not having a go at them because they're just taking advantage of the wave, aren't they, of what's going on. But this prompt base it's a nicely laid out site anyway, first of all. But the idea is they've categorized things very well. So you can literally go and sell your prompts if you've come up with a really decent prompt or set of prompts. And you can sell them. And if you think about it, it's just that classic old thing. If people haven't got time or they can't be bothered to think up whatever, then they can go buy a prompt to do something. Again, I'm just an observer. I'm not criticizing or anything else, but there you go. So I'll put a link to Prompt Base, but the one today is Prompt Perfect. And I have to say, the people behind this have done a really good job because essentially you've got a few levels. It's all around what is it? It's all around helping you generate better prompts to get better results. Okay. But it also has some really interesting things where, because the things with like I keep saying Chat GPT, but OpenAI GPT with functions, so you can actually use targeted other sets of data, things like that. So it enables you to build those functions out easier. There's an arena for testing out things. They've got a few of the things like a few shot prompts where you can use it to do repeated multiple prompts, or zero shot prompts. There's all these sort of like new words now entering the dictionary, isn't it? But anyway, but it's got a lot of interesting things. But one of them that jumped out is prompt as a service. Now, again, you could do this yourself with OpenAI's API or Azure Applied AI, or I'm sure a million other services. But this one, if you've got a really good way of prompting a specific thing, like you want to make a logo, but you're not just prompting any old rubbish. You've really thought through the prompt. It's quite descriptive, but also, of course, how do you sell that? It's going to be, isn't it going to be just for one logo that you've said? Well, no, because what you can do is use variables in that prompt build up, and then you can actually sell it as a service. So you can literally have an API or an app at the other end sort of saying, okay, I want to create this really lovely logo. and it will prompt you for certain variables that are going to obviously get injected in that prompt. But the fact is, you could actually create that prompt in a very descriptive way, that maybe a lot of people won't know that. And of course, they'll then get, hopefully something a lot more targeted, and you'll get paid if you want to. So you can sell it, or you can give it away free, or whatever it is. But there's some really interesting movements in here. But it does go through. The prompting is sort of split into, sort of basic. You could do the beginner sort of stuff, the intermediate stuff, and advanced. It's got some really quite involved stuff. It is very well thought through, I have to say, and it's inevitable that these products are going to come out on the market. As I say, very well thought through, worth a look. And as I say, the other good thing as well is that it does hook into not just ChatGPT, OpenAI. It looks at Stable LM. As I say, there's quite a few other large language models and things available, and of course it's getting added to as things evolve, like Google's Gemini, that is in the near future, I believe, which I think is an upgrade to Bard. But you've also got things like Cosmos, spelt with a K, from Microsoft, that's sort of evolving the ChatGPT side as well. So this is almost like that type of environment, and we've gone right over 5 minutes. So I'm not going to go any further. I'll put a few links in the show notes below. But that's what I've got for this time, until the next one. So take care, and we will catch you on the next episode.